job that I haven't really spoken much about is this dang milking stall floor. Oh, I've been kind of working on this off and on since, I don't know, August, September, July. Honestly can't remember. I'll come in here and remove a bucket or two of dirt, maybe 4 or 5, but the last few times I've come in here, just a bucket or two. I did a lot when it kept raining, but it got to where I quit because it was just, it was just mud city in here, and that's the problem. Since building this, what was that, 2013 maybe? It was just made out of pallets, just a basic rock and dirt floor. You know, the rocks were already here, of course, the dirt was already here. And well, every time it rained, it would just get muddy. Goats didn't want to come in here, especially if it got really rainy and was swampy. They wouldn't want to come in here. And I'd lay hay down, mostly straw, lots of straw, and that would help. I even tried sand a few times, and it did help. And then time would pass, and we'd get another rainstorm. Now, the first few years out here, I think we had like a 5-year drought. I mean, it was really bad. So at first, it really wasn't too much of a problem. You know, I'd get the hay, the hay or straw, I'd lay that down, and, you know, it would help it, and it might be a month or two before I'd have to do it again. Well, all that straw and hay and even sand made some really, it was helping, it was forming soil. And so instead of helping long term, it really did the opposite, where it just got worse and worse and worse. And then this summer we had, I don't know if it was June, July, August, I'd have to go look at my stats. We had some good rain. And it was just wall-to-wall water in here. I mean, I put lots of rocks in here. I've added rocks, like this rock was added. I've added rocks outside, and the goats would step just on the rocks. They'd avoid all the other, where the water was. They'd try to stick on the rock. And, that helped a lot. But it was miserable. And I just finally made the decision I needed to get as much of these rocks out of here as I could. I needed to get all the dirt out that I could. And, I just needed to come up with a different floor. Something better than what I had. And so I've been working on that. And I made some progress in the summer, but like normal, got kind of lazy doing other things because it stopped raining, and then September hit and October, and it would not stop raining. It just rained and rained and rained. It was miserable. It was just absolutely miserable in here. My boots were literally getting stuck in the mud. Literally. Oopsie, that's actual dirt. Every time I came in here to milk, first of all, the goats were miserable. They didn't want to come in here. But then if I didn't have these walls right here and the milking stand, there was multiple times I almost fell. But because I had something to grab onto, I didn't fall. And so that was a blessing. But it was like, I've got to get this out of here. Well, it just rained so much I couldn't work on it. But since then, since it's dried out, I have been working on this. I come in here ever so often between more pressing jobs, but at the same time this is pressing because I'm going to have goats in this paddock having kids in only a few months. I mean, it's not gonna, you know, March is not that far away. And no, I don't have any food for you guys. No. First of all, Nate, you are not a dairy goat. You're not a female dairy goat. You're not going to have babies. But, so I mean, it is now starting to become where this is a pressing job. Because I honestly, it doesn't take much and I get worn out. And then these guys come and, you know, because like once this bucket gets full of dirt and I go dump it over in low areas in the paddock, well, they think there's food in here. They associate this place with food. They want to come in here. And I'm like, nope, you can't come in here. So I'm trying to get, you know, these rocks, none of them, they're not, no, some are flat, but they're all different shapes. And what I want to do is clean up as much of this as I can. And then I have areas where I have very flat rocks and just make a floor, maybe add some cement between the rocks. Maybe sand, I haven't quite decided yet. But I want to make a floor that is more elevated and, you know, not so yucky to have to come in here. You know, it is really hard when you're dealing with so much mud, and I'm trying to deal with food. I mean, I'm milking goats for food. And I lost so much of the milk this past fall just because of the mud. I mean, I might get her udder all nice and clean, and then she'd stomp, and there'd be mud in the milk. And I'm just like, oh, great, you know? It was just so frustrating. So, this is what I'm working on now. You know, I'm just, oh, I'm kind of warm. I really am overdressed today. But I'm picking up rocks and putting them out here to make a rocky environment. So, you know, I can't put too many rocks in front of the door, at least not the big kind. Or else I can't open the dang door. So, you know, I just do these little rocks. So, but, I mean, I've been coming probably about once every week or so. Not every week, but it all depends on what else I have to do. Whether I come in here and work. But I've gotten a lot of that done. Not all of it. It's really hard to know which of these rocks there is no way on earth I'm removing and which I can move. I just don't know until I really get rid of all the small rocks. And then I start getting an idea. But when it's raining, it just draws in more mud. So, but I'm hoping to have a better situation this fall, or not this fall, this spring when I start milking, that it won't be such a horrible environment. In fact, one of the reasons I decided to dry up all the goats was because of all that horrible rain we were getting. And I started thinking about how dangerous it was in here if we got an ice storm. You know, if it started, if it got cold enough for an ice storm and I had to milk goats, well, that would be treacherous. So I just decided I better just, you know, it was so miserable. I decided it'd be better just to dry everybody up and spend my time trying to get this ready for next year. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got Prairie in the garden, or not the garden, the goat paddock with me. I can see her right over there. She's going around checking all the bones and everything around here. She enjoys coming in here. As long as nobody has any kids, I'm fine with her being in here. And if I'm in here, I can watch her. She's pretty good. As long as there's no kids to chase, she's pretty good. She doesn't do too good, though. When critters like to run and hop and jump and all that kind of stuff, which babies do, she gets excited and wants to play and chase them. And that's what I'm against. So I just wanted to share with you another job I'm doing on this homestead. Trying to make a decent floor. Ooh. So that milking is not such a pain this year. You know, there's a lot to do with milking as it is. I don't need to make things even harder on me. So I hope you're doing well in whatever jobs you're doing, and hope you're having a wonderful day, and may God bless you. I'm assuming that is oats. I feed the goats whole oats on the milk stand. Here's my milk stand. And I've got holes in this bucket, basically to let the water out. And so the feed falls through. And I get these green shoots all the time. And I'm kind of surprised it's so green as it is, considering we haven't had real rain. We've had fog and stuff, but we haven't had a good hard rain in a while. So I'm probably going to pull all this up and go give it to some goats.